This video is special because it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Neuralink, which is Elon Musk's company, has made a new announcement in which they have developed an ultra-high bandwidth brain-machine interface to connect humans and computers. I'll let that sink in a little bit. Now, you've remembered games such as Deus Ex and Cyberpunk. These games always had dystopian futures, cyberpunk themes. You remember these sci-fi games where you connect something to your brain? Augmentations, such as Deus Ex. We all remember that. Now, Elon Musk intends to develop something very similar. He says that the problem with communicating with computers these days is the bandwidth.
The thing that will ultimately constrain our ability to be symbiotic with AI is bandwidth.
Typing on something like a keyboard is too slow. Using a mouse is too slow. He wants to develop an interface which has very high bandwidth, and the only way to do that is to connect the machine directly to your brain. But Elon's ultimate goal is to merge with AI.
With a high bandwidth brain-machine interface, I think we can actually go along for the ride. And we can effectively have the option of merging with AI.
Now, according to him, AI, even the most forms of AI, are definitely a threat to humanity. In fact, according to him and many other people, AI is going to be the last human invention. So he wants to ensure mankind's survival by merging with AI. He says that AI is unstoppable, but the only way to mitigate its effects in the future is to merge with it.
It's mitigation of the existential threat of AI, yeah, this is the point of it.
Now, of course, apart from all the other sci-fi things that Elon is saying, of course, a lot of people are agreeing with that too, the threat of AI, blah, blah, blah. We know about all of that. But one of the practical applications of Neuralink's invention is the treatment and understanding of diseases. So things like cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia, all of that stuff. The Neuralink team has been working on a product that can implant ultra-fine threads into brains. These threads are just 4 to 6 micrometers in diameter, smaller than a human hair, and they are placed close to neurons to detect activity and relay information back. Let's have a look at this video, which was endorsed by Elon, and he said that it's not a Shutterstock video.
Of nearly 100 billion cells called neurons. Neurons come in many complex shapes, but generally they have a dendritic arbor, a cell body called a soma, and an axon. The neurons of your brain connect to form a large network through axon-dendrite junctions called synapses. At these connection points, neurons communicate with each other using chemical signals called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are released from the end of an axon in response to an electrical spike called an action potential. When a cell receives enough of the right kind of neurotransmitter input, a chain reaction is triggered that causes an action potential to fire, and the neuron to in turn relay messages to its own downstream synapses. Action potentials produce an electric field that spreads from the neuron and can be detected by placing electrodes nearby, allowing recording of the information represented by a neuron.
That video was good, wasn't it? Elon said as well. He said to watch it again.
I thought we'd play that twice. It's so good you have to play it twice.
So I want you to watch it again, but this time with my voiceover. The brain has about 100 billion cells called neurons. Neurons come in many complex shapes, but generally they have a dendritic arbor, a cell body called a soma, and an axon. The neurons of your brain connect to form a large network through axon-dendrite junctions called synapses. At these connection points, neurons communicate with each other using chemical signals called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are released from the end of an axon in response to an electrical spike called an action potential. When a cell receives enough of the right kind of the neurotransmitter input, a chain reaction is triggered that causes an action potential to fire, and the neuron to in turn relay messages to its own downstream synapses. Now, the first phase of the project would test the technology on quadriplegic patients with upper spinal cord injuries, and that's going to happen next year. They're going through the FDA process, which is troublesome, to say the least. Thankfully, Elon says that it's no longer going to be wires attached to your brain. It's actually going to be wireless. So, if you're planning on getting one of these crazy implants into your head and becoming a cyberpunk cyborg, have no fear. At least it's wireless. So the ultimate goal of this is to develop a true brain-computer interface. And humanity can finally merge with AI. So what do I think about this? Is this the future? Are there any concerns? I think sci-fi movies are a description of the future. A premonition, if you will. These things are becoming true one by one. And if we're going to end up like cyborgs, then there's no stopping it. How are we going to look like? What do you think about this? Would you implant something in your head in order to control computers? Are we going to end up like crazy beings that control everything around us just by thought? Are we going to be able to download data into our brains just by linking our brain to a computer? And what happens when we really merge with AI? Do you think stuff like transcendence might happen? Yes, all of this is crazy talk, and at the end of the day, it's Elon Musk we're talking about here. So, expect anything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you really like this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos, for more high quality videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.